morning guys, welcome to Flory Models Daily Show. Here we are on Thursday the 8th of September 2016. Busy day yesterday, to be honest. Had to travel up country a little bit and speak to the sales team, talk to them about obviously upcoming projects, how we're going to be doing things. Things are going to change slightly in the future, as a lot of you know. It's not going to affect anything for you guys from the members' point of view, because you're still going to buy direct from me, but from other people it might change a little bit. Okay, pigments will definitely be in stock on Monday, because I'm going to update our site to obviously make them live for the sets, and the missing rust colour I can confirm is perfect, because that was one of the reasons why I was up there, to make sure it was the right colour. The other thing as well is going to be a slight change to the washes coming up very soon, not from a technical point of view but from an application point of view. And I know I'm being really sort of cagey with it, but as we know, there's a certain company out there who love to borrow ideas from us, and so give them a couple of weeks and no doubt theirs will be the same. But that is coming up with them. So it's a new idea that the actual sales guys have actually had, and they pushed it to me, because obviously I have to okay it, because it's still my sort of baby. And I agree, it's fantastic. It's a really good, simple thing for it, which is going to help, I think, a lot of people out, and it should stop a few of the problems that we've got. But I know I'm being really cagey with it, but it's going to take, well, we've just prototyped it and it's fine. But hopefully it will be, I don't know, next couple of weeks. Some of you are going to see it filtering through immediately, because I put a load on our members' stuff. Anyway, from my point of view, we're going to be cracking on very, very shortly with that guy. Literally, I'm just going to finish off the other basket with the photo etch, and that is done. Okay, so what will happen is that'll be ready to go into primer, and then next week we're going to be painting that. Obviously, there's the Sioux, the flanker down there. We're going to carry on with that on Monday, guys, so we're going to do it completely. That's why I've left all the bits to one side. We're going to do it all together Monday morning, probably going to start about 9 in the morning, and everything else like that. Technically, something playing in the background is my new favourite song, which is that one. It locks in. Go and have a listen to that. Good bit of music, that one. Anyway, lights. As some of you know, we use this. Let me turn this on. This will kill the camera. Okay, this is our sun. As you know, I use the LED panels, which are these guys up here, which are fantastic. Okay, and to be honest, I've got 4 of them. I've got 2 more which I don't use, but they are very localized light. It does the bench area perfectly well. There's no heat that comes off of it, and obviously from a power point of view they don't drain anything at all. The only drawback to it is you might notice it's very dark everywhere else. That's why we have this, which then gives us our ambient light around the rest of the studio, as you can see down in here. Okay, so from that point of view, it's what we need. So I thought, right, okay, instead of us having the sun here, we could probably do something with LEDs. Okay, so I went out and bought one of these. Now this is a 4-foot LED strip light, and it was described as being cool white. Okay, so I'm thinking, right, cool normally means the blue tinge, which is more like daylight. So I thought, right, okay, but just in case, I'll buy some daylight ones as well. So these are 4-foot LED daylight bulbs, which are great because they're plastic, so they don't break. You don't have to worry about them, because technically what it has runs down the middle of it is a LED strip. Okay, so that is what literally just runs down there. So I got this guy and thought, well, that's easy. It's going to be an easy little fix on this. All we're going to do is just pop these bulbs out and do it. No, these are not how they seem. What this actually is, when you unscrew both ends, this is all fake, because there's nothing in this end at all. It is just literally a holder. It's just an LED strip runs down here that is hardwired to the electrics up this end. So the thing is, that over there is obviously got pins on the end. It's your standard one. So what I'm now going to have to do is buy a standard 4-foot strip light, okay, twin, all right, and then replace the actual, take the starter out and the ballast bit, take that out and then rewire it to be in. But the great thing is you get a shed load of cable with it. So it's only 45 quid, but the whole point was we were going to stick one here down this side, and I was going to have one down this side. Okay, so it gives us more natural light right the way around the studio, and that's, to be honest, is what we sort of, you know, are needing quite a bit. Okay, so that was the whole point of it. I was going to do something like that, but that sort of scuppered me when I took this one apart to change the bulbs, and it's not a simple just pull it out job and we're fixed and away we go. So that sort of ruined that idea nicely. So what I'm going to have to do is, I can find a home for these, don't get me wrong. I can put one in the shed, we put one in the loft, it'd be great. But the great thing is this power lead is like 10 meters, so it's great. So if you do need some quick cheap lighting, you can just pick this up, 45 quid, it's LED, they rate it for something like 47 years. And if you're looking for the box, it looks just like that. Okay, but as you see, cool white. So I'm thinking, well, hopefully it would be proper. But anyway, not quite. So anyway, what we're going to do is obviously have a rethink, and then we'll put that other one up and we'll put it up there. So there we go, that's going to be my morning. I'm going to sort out, to be honest, that little bit on the tank. I'm going to do that bit now, and then what we're going to do is do our Brits to camera. Now these are the overall bits where we have to actually, you know, technically come along. Let me just do that, something like that. Hold on, before that is going to start and we'll get into real trouble. Okay. There we go. Okay, so the plan is, obviously we're going to start on that tank, we're going to get that finished off, and then we've got to do the thing for the Mister Paint. Now, obviously I've done the raw format, you've seen it if you've watched part 2 of the Sequoia build, so that's pretty straightforward. And then what I'm going to have to do is then sit down, put all the paints around me, act all polish, and then do what we call sort of B-roll stuff as well, which is stuff which is not, you know, totally in front of the camera, over sort of, you know, shoulder shots, stuff like that, and then obviously close-ups of the bottles and all those things. And then we'll have to edit the entire thing together, which, to be honest, is going to be one of the biggest reviews we've ever done, because never before have I had for like 2 hours of spraying footage to put in. Then it's going to be like an hour of sort of B-roll footage and everything else like that we're going to have to edit in, and all those bits and pieces. Now, because of that and the time it's going to take with editing, so I want to do a good job on it, I want to do it justice, it might not be up tonight. Okay, if it's not up tonight, I might rejig things and put another review, because I have done a couple of other reviews over the last few weeks and things like that, which are like my backup stuff in case we've ever got a situation to put nothing up. I've got something that can go up, so that's the plan with that one. And in the meantime, I must admit, I've got my parents coming around to do the gardening for me, so that's always handy. So there we go, guys, that's it, and catch me at lunchtime, we'll see how we're getting on.
We wanted to run, we wanted to fall together. Back then our world seemed so clear. We grew so bright, shimmering lights around us. We'd take flight into the sky. How many worlds would you cross to use the light that's right in front of you? There is no light on the other side. I say, look straight ahead and you will see. You will see. You will see.
Okay, so a busy old day. I must admit, huge amount of editing involved just to cram it down. And when you're editing something like where we've done these live builds, trying to take it from sort of 2 hours, 2.5 hours down to half an hour is really difficult, because I just want to, you know, sort of convey what I'm seeing, what I'm doing and everything else like that. So what I've actually done is I've done a concise cut down 40-minute version talking about the MRP paints and going through my conclusions and my thoughts and everything about them. As I said, if you got the time, I would watch the full thing. It is available to watch now. I'll link it in the description down below, but you can actually see us do this flanker, and there's a couple of things you didn't really see on the sort of, you know, the cut down review of this, and this was the speed you can actually work with this paint, and that is the one thing I love about it. The way we were enabled us to paint the green on the front, and then literally we masked it 10 minutes. I did some questions and spoke to some of the guys live, and then right, let's mask it up and go through the motions of it, and then we were holding on to the nose with its masked up as we were doing all the rest of the work. That's incredibly quick. Wouldn't normally do that, but again, we were throwing it warts and all at this one, and then we just went through it totally in 2 hours. I reckon it's probably, without the sort of, you know, talking to you guys and the various bits and pieces as we were doing the live broadcast, I reckon it was probably no more than an hour and 20 minutes start to finish by the time you cut it all out, as I've been going through the editing and everything else like that. But it is a lot of fun working with this paint. It's one of those paints that's really forgiving. Okay, so if you are a new modeler coming into it, I would recommend this stuff. This isn't something like Alclad or perhaps some of the more sort of finicky, delicate type of paints out there. This paint really is very, very nice. Okay, and I've spoken to a few people who've used this paint now for a while and things like that. And there's a couple of things things they would highly recommend. One is obviously a lower air pressure. Personally, me using it, I don't think it needs to be that lower in air pressure. Some of them are talking around about 5 to 7 psi. I would go higher personally. I think if you're new to airbrushing especially, you can get a little bit of spittiness and, you know, just a time factor type thing as well. I would up that air pressure. I'd be talking sort of 7 to 12, I think, as the range is a good range for using this paint. And also distance. A lot of the guys speaking about it being very up close to doing it and all the rest of it, which is true, because to be honest, we've got a very nice tight camo pattern on this from, you know, my normal way of doing it as I would with an acrylic. Probably you could get in even closer and do sort of more detailed, you know, work with it and everything else. But generally, I can't find a fault with this paint, and that is the big thing. Normally, I'd like to come with a negative or a but and all the rest of it. The only but I can give for this stuff is it's a lacquer. Okay, so I spoke about it just before. You're going to hear it in the review. You'll hear it in the full build of it as well. It's one of those things, I can't emphasize enough the health and safety point of this stuff. It's not very nice. Spraying lacquers around are not the nicest thing. The difference between perhaps spraying something like this and spraying, you know, your traditional acrylics is that you're still going to get the particles into your lungs, and you just don't want that. But with lacquers as well, they are a hot product. You know, they are an irritant as well. So just make sure, guys, you are in a very ventilated area. The other thing we did this morning is we finished off the turret. So we got a little bit, as you saw just then, about that. So this is all now completely done and ready for painting. So maybe Monday I'm planning on doing live for this. So maybe Tuesday we'll get this into primer, and then we're going to start with our first coats of paint and everything else. To be honest, I've got so quick and far on with this particular build that I haven't had a look at what paints I'm going to use yet. I don't even know if I've got the colours here and all the bits of it. I know the colour callouts they give for it is for mixed stuff. Well, I haven't got any of that, so I'm going to have to use something else. So I'm going to have to find out what colours it is, and then obviously we're going to think about how we're going to go about doing the camo work on that one, because obviously this is in the Berlin one. It's going to be the squares and the lumps and bumps and everything else on that one. But that one's coming along really quicker than I ever thought possible. So there we go. So basically, you've got a couple of options today. The unedited raw build of this is about 2 hours, 20 minutes, is up on the site now. You can see this one, and it's on free to watch as well on YouTube if you want to go over there and have a look at it. And that will talk you right the way through using these paints in detail. So if you've got a spare 2 hours, it's a great one to have a look at. And obviously you'll hear guys talking to me, questions coming through to me live as I did it, and all things like that. So you can get a bit of a feel for what we get up to here at Flory Models. If you want to watch the more concise version, then please do. Obviously that review will be up with you a little bit later on, and you can watch that one as well. So it just depends on which way you want to do it. But it has been a week of working with this particular paint. I have loved it. It is absolutely fantastic. So there we go. You can go off and have a look at that review. So tomorrow I'm going to do 2 reviews for you. To be honest, we've got a member coming here as well. Reese is coming up to see me in the afternoon. It'd be quite nice. Okay, and everything else like that. And then obviously we'll have a look at your great work, and we'll have a look around the forum and all the bits and pieces like that. So there we go, guys. That's it for today, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.